Next, we want to bring in the budget. Okay. So click budget. So now you see that product category is automatically blended. You see the red highlighted link, that means the blending has already happened. Okay. And the broken link here means that you have another field that you can add to your linking fields in blending. Okay. It's available, and if you click on that link, the link will become active. Okay. So if you have it in this fashion, then the aggregation when you blend will happen at the product subcategory level. Okay. Because your key now is product category and product subcategory. But we don't want that. We want, okay, because this plot is at product category level. If the visualization was in product subcategory level, then you would link both category and subcategory. Okay. But since it's only up to category level, then I'm going to just leave it as unlinked. Now we have to do one more thing, but before we do that one more thing, let's look at what if we accept the data as it is. Okay, like use the data blended as it is, then what will happen? It's not going to come out right. I'll tell you that at the beginning itself. All right, suppose if you bring in the budget into detail. So bring budget into detail. So budget becomes part of the visualization. Okay. So it's not showing up. If you highlight, then it will tell you what is the sales and what is the budget. Okay, if you hover over any particular mark. But we want to, one way of making comparison between a target and the actual value. So we have a budget is the target that we want to achieve, and sales is what the actual sales is. And one of the ways of achieving that is called reference line. So if you right click on sales, because we want the comparison to happen with sales, so right click and you see at the bottom we have reference line. Okay. If you click add reference line, it will give you several options. Okay, so if you select an entire table, that means you will have one reference line for the entire table, which is the same line. It's the same value in each of these panes. Okay, so it adds up everything and then puts one line. Okay? And it is average. Or you can select per pane, so in which case the reference line is for each pane. So this is one pane, so that means it's going to add up all the budget for furniture, average it, and put one line. Okay. And here it is at the pane level, so it take all the budget for office supplies and have one line for office supply, average budget. Okay. Same average for technology, but that's not what we want. We want to be able to compare each month. Okay. For furniture, January, what is the sales, what is the budget? For February, what is the sales and what is the budget? So that's what we want to compare. So we have to go down to the cell level, per cell level. Okay, so now let's get rid of the label. Okay, here the label is computation. So what kind of computation is happening? So let's say we don't want anything. Okay. Now, right now, the variable used for the line is the sales. So that's the reason why you see the little line here that coincides with the height or the length of each bar. It's the same thing. Sales is what is being plotted, and sales is what is being summed for reference line. So it's doing the same thing. So we have to change this to budget. Okay. So now you see what has happened. you're summing the budget for per cell. It's supposed to go per cell. It's actually doing it per cell. But it is the same line for all the months, January through December. Why? Because the blending is happening at the category level. So it doesn't care about month. It's going to aggregate before blending. It's going to take a furniture. So it's going to take, it's not going to care about which month it is. You take all the months, combine them all, and average them, so you get one value. For all the months, you get just one value. So you get the same line going all the way down. So how can we make sure that the secondary source, the rows coming in from the secondary source, are not aggregated at the product category level, but it is aggregated at the product category month level? So that's what we want, right? We want it to aggregate, because right now the budget is product category, product subcategory, and month, right? So when you link when the blending is from product category level, then before linking, it's going to take the product category and add up everything there that corresponds with that category. It doesn't care about month, it doesn't care about product subcategory. Add them all up. So for each, so there are 3 values for product category. For each, you get just one value for budget. But what we want is product category and month. Okay, we don't care about subcategory. For each product category, for the month of January, month of February, and so on, we want the budget. So the linking for the blending process should happen at category and month level. So that's what we have to do. So I'm going to back out of this. All right. So we have to link by month as well. So how do we do that? So this is the manual blending. Okay. The Tableau doesn't have a connection with month. It doesn't even offer you a possible connection with a broken link. It even doesn't offer you that. So you have to go to data, edit relationships. Okay. So right now these 2 are available already, of which we have already chosen one, which is the product category, right? So that comes from automatic blending. So now we have to add a new one, so which is custom blending. Okay, so you click custom and click add. So that will give you an opportunity to bring in a new field to do the connection. Okay. So click add. So now we have primary data source, okay, primary data source field, and secondary data source field, right? So now we have order date. That's what's going to give us the month from the primary data source. So we can add up all the sales for a given month. And here, month from the secondary data source. So that would be the budget for the month, right? But you notice that there is a arrow sign here for these 2. So here we have an order date and then another order date. And the reason for that is, this is a date field. The order date is coded as January 1, 2015, January 2, 2015, February 1, 2015, and so on. So that is a date. That is one date. That's just one day of the month. But what we want is the month and not the date. So if January 1, 2015 should be converted into January. Okay. So here, in the primary data source, it can be any date, right? So the order date is January 15th or January 22nd or whatever. We have to convert that to a month. We can't use the exact date because you will not find a match in the secondary data source for that date. You only find a connection for the month, not for the date. Yeah.
How do you get this window to open? Sorry.
Uh, so you did edit relationships and then custom add. Okay, so this is the original order date. Okay, but we can't use that. So you click the arrow here, and it gives you several options as to what you want that date to be converted to. And we want that date to be converted to a month. Okay, and the same here. So we have month and then a function for the month. And in the secondary data source, each month, it's actually month, but each month is coded as a particular day, like January 1, 2015, February 1, 2015, and again we don't want that, we want only the month part, so you select that. So now the order date will be converted to a month, and then the month, which is actually represented as a date, will be converted to a month, and then the connection will take place. Okay. So now we have, click OK. So now we have the blending taking place with a combination key of product category and month. That combination is what will be used. So now we are ready to insert the reference line. So we add a reference line, okay, and we want it per cell, and we want the budget, okay, and we don't want any of these pesky labels there. Now here you have to determine what to do, whether we should average or we should sum. So what do you think will happen if I use sum or if I use average? Why is that? Why is there not a change at all? So when I use sum, it doesn't move. When I use average, there's nothing there. Because for each, there is only one value. From the budget, for a product, category, and a month, there is only one value. So average and sum, it's all the same thing.
It's my month on the edit, the field mapping doesn't have a drop down arrow.
Alright, so that could possibly be because you forgot to change this to a date.
Yeah.
It's possible. That could be the reason. Alright, so let's edit. Okay, we can do some edits here. Okay, like you can change the line instead of to mark the line brightly, so you can use different color. You can change the width if you like. Okay. And of course you can do the labeling. Okay. So this gives you the actual sales. Of course, if it's taking too much space, you can format it. Format sum of sales to currency in thousands, maybe. Okay, and we can, we have seen this before, so we can play with these formatting if you want. So, and of course you can add, you need to add a more descriptive title, say 2015 sales by product category versus budget, or something like that.